If you are joining us from Zoom, I just want you to know that you can go ahead and start the playlist that I posted on Facebook now. And we're going to start in a seated position on our mats. So go ahead and find crisscross. If you have a pillow or a bolster to sit on, it might be more comfortable for your hips and your spine. Try to relax your legs. Try to relax the glutes. Sit up nice and tall in the spine. Relax the shoulders down your back. Place your palms on your thighs, palms facing down. Close your eyes. And we're just going to start class by taking 5 long breaths. So on your own, I want you to count the inhales for at least a count of 5 or 6, and that same count of 5 or 6 on the exhales. So this is just going to help us let go of what it took to come to class today, let go of what happened in the morning, let go of whatever is happening outside of our mats, and come into our practice presently. And then when you're finished, if you have anything that you're sitting on, you're going to take it out, place it off to the side. So today is a restorative class, so we are going to be holding poses a little bit longer, holding our stretches. Usually I teach a vinyasa flow class, which is a little faster pace, connecting breath to movement. This class is going to be slower and focused on really stretching our muscles. So let's start with our feet in butterfly position. So the soles of our feet are together, they're pressing in, our knees are bent. I'm going to place my hands right around my ankles. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, pull my heels in towards my groin a little bit just to stretch the inner thighs. Sit up nice and tall, take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then extend your legs out wide and long. Flex your feet. Sit up nice and tall. So we're not trying to get deep here. We're just like starting to stretch out the backs of our legs. So flex your feet, reach through the heels, sit up nice and tall. Take a full breath in. And then on your breath out, bring the soles of your feet together again. Inhale in your butterfly. Exhale, extend back to wide angle. Inhale here in your wide angle pose. Exhale back to butterfly. Inhale here. Exhale one more time, wide angle pose. Inhale here, maybe you place your fingertips behind you, sit up nice and tall even more. Good, and then cross the legs and come into all fours. So hands are directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath hips. And we will take cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the seat, lift the heart. Then exhale, press the floor away, dome the spine, and let the head go. Again, inhale as you come through cow pose. Exhale as you press back into your cat pose. 2 more times. Inhale through cow. Exhale through cat. And inhale through cow pose. And exhale through cat pose. Now come through a neutral spine. Take your gaze to the edge of the mat. Inhale, take your left arm up. And exhale, you're gonna thread the needle. So you're gonna thread this left hand right underneath your right arm. You're gonna lower your left cheek down to the mat. And with your right palm, you're gonna press into the mat to twist your chest open to the left a little bit more. So you should feel opening in the upper back, especially that left shoulder. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. One more inhale here. On your exhale, sweep that left arm back up and place the left hand down. Moving into the other side, inhale, take the right arm up. Exhale, thread that left hand underneath the right arm. Lower your right cheek down to the mat. With the left palm, press into the mat to twist your chest to the left a little bit more. So again, feeling stretch in the upper back, especially the right shoulder on this side. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. One more inhale. And then exhale, sweep that left hand up and place the left hand down. Let's get into the calves. So take the right leg behind you, all 5 toes down on the mat. With your hands, you're gonna press into the mat and press them forward so that your heel, your shoulders go back and your heel presses down towards the mat. So with my hands, my arms are strong and I'm really guiding my back leg so that that left heel is pressing down towards the floor or the mat, stretching the back of the calf. Then bring your shoulders back over your wrists and bring that right knee back down. Same thing on the other side. Take the left leg behind you, all 5 toes down on the mat. And then with the hands and the arms, press yourself back and gently guide that left heel down towards the mat. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, left knee down. Now take your knees nice and wide. Your big toes to touch. The seat is going to come back towards your heels and we're going to come into child's pose. So we are going to use this child's pose to stretch our side body and our hips. So I want you to rest your forehead down on the mat. And then I want you to take your arms nice and long. So really stretch your arms as much as you can. Spread the fingers, press down with your hands and really grip the mat. So with your palms, I want you to press down and slightly pull back. That should give you nice space in the side body, both left and right side. And with every exhale, I want you to try to sink your hips towards your heels a little bit more. So take a full breath in. Exhale, settle the hips a little bit deeper. Keep the arms and the hands active. Then walk both hands over to the right side of your mat. Take your left hand on top of the right. Again, rest the forehead down. With the left hands, I want you to press down and pull the hips back to the left. Are you guys having trouble hearing me? Good. Then walk the hands over to the other side of the mat. Press down and pull back so you feel space now in the right side of your body. Come back through center with your hands. Press yourself back up into all fours. And now we're gonna come into down dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So let's set this up. Spread the fingers. Press the mat away with your hands. Arms are strong. Biceps hugging in, almost like if you had a yoga block in between your biceps, it would be squeezing the yoga block. And your ears are right in between those biceps. Your hips are high, your spine is long. Start with a soft bend in the knees. And then just notice if you start to straighten your legs and your upper body starts to come forward, keep that bend in the knees. Only straighten so much that you can still keep your hips high and the spine long. With the balls of the feet, press down and pull the back half of the mat back. Stay here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, full breath in. And full breath out. Now I want you to lower your knees to the mat. Step your right hand or right foot up by your right hand. And then you're going to press down with both feet. So we've got the front foot pressing down and the top of the back foot pressing down, and you're going to rise up to a low lunge. I'm going to take my arms overhead because that feels good to me. If you'd like to keep your hands at heart center, you can. What I want you to feel is a stretch in the left hip flexor, the front of the left hip. So press the left hip forward and pull the right hip back. I'm doing this by squeezing my inner thighs and really keeping my feet active on the mat. I'm going to reach my arms up above. I'm going to interlace my fingers and let my pointer fingers extend. From here, I'd like to get a little deeper. So I'm going to inhale, lengthen my spine, reach the fingers towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to exhale, sway over towards the right. So I'm swaying towards that right knee, the front knee. This helps me get not only into the front of the hip, but the side of the hip as well. Keep the feet active. Stay here for 3 more breaths. If it helps you to stay present and focused, you can count your breaths. So you can say inhaling 1, exhaling 1, inhaling 2, exhaling 2. Final breath, inhale and exhale. Come back through center, release the hands down. Tuck the back toe and step back to down dog. So we'll pause in down dog in between sides. Again, strong arms, hips lifted, balls of the feet pressing down and pulling back. Then float back out, lower the knees, and this time step the left foot up by the left hand. Anchor your feet into the mat, squeeze the inner thighs, and rise up to your low lunge. So right hip presses forward, left hip dials back. Interlace the fingers, pointers extend. Lengthen through the spine. And then if you took this option on the other side, you're going to sway up and over towards the left or towards that front leg. Inhale. Exhale. Again, full breath in. Full breath out. Take one more breath. Come back through center. Release the hands down. Tuck that back toe. And then lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Pause in your down dog for 2 breaths. I love down dog because it really stretches and lengthens the spine. I can feel this stretch in my hips and my low back and the backs of my legs. Good. And then lower knees. This time we're going to take lizard pose. So I want you to take the right foot, bring it to the outside of that right hand. So the outside this time. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to send our hips forward and we're going to lengthen the spine. So I've got my gaze forward. Where I feel this stretch here is I feel it in the right thigh, the right hamstring, but I also really feel it in this left hip flexor. So the front of the left hip, which is chronically tight for most of us. So send the hips forward. If you'd like to get a little bit lower onto your forearms, if you are more flexible than me, you can get a little bit lower. Otherwise, you're just gonna pause here and really press that left hip forward. I'm keeping my right knee glued to my right tricep. If you'd like to come to the outer edge of the right foot and send the right knee out wide, you can do that as well. Take one more breath here. Then plant both hands and come back to down dog. Pause in down dog again for 2 breaths. Good, then lower your knees and step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Again, you're sending your hips forward this time instead of keeping them upright like we did in our lunge. And you have the option of keeping the left knee glued to the left tricep, or you can come to the outer edge of the left foot if that feels good and let the left knee come out to the side. Either way is fine. The focus again is on that right front of the thigh, the right hip flexor. If you need to get a little bit lower with the upper body, you can go there as well. We're here for 3 breaths. Take one more breath. Then tuck the back toe, bring the left knee around, and come back to downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths. Next up is pigeon pose. So I'm going to step my right knee forward. I'm going to lower my back knee, and I'm going to get this right knee right behind my right wrist. And then I'm going to bring my right ankle a little bit forward with my left hand to start to bring it a little bit more parallel to the front of the mat. If that's too much for you, you can also just keep that heel right near your pubic bone. So it depends on where it feels good in your body. The back of your leg is straight. You're going to squeeze your inner thighs or pull the right hip back, dive the left hip forward to square off your pelvis. You're going to start by lengthening the spine. Keep those inner thighs hugging in. And then if you'd like to get lower with the upper body, you can. So you should feel this stretch in the glute. So a little bit of hips, lots of glute here. We'll hold this for 3 or 4 breaths. Again, if that helps you to really keep the mind still and focus on the body and what's going on here and now, just count your breaths. So every time you inhale, say 1. Exhale 1. When thoughts come to mind, just release them and return to the breath. This stretch can be a little painful for some of us, so it's harder to settle the mind, but just comes with practice. Staying still is the hardest part of yoga. And gently press yourself up. Swing your right knee around and come back to down dog. Take 2 breaths and let go in your down dog before we take the other side. Now step the left knee forward. So that left knee is going to go behind the left wrist. The left ankle is going to kind of pull up towards the right wrist. Back leg is straight. Right hip forward, left hip back. Keep the inner thighs hugged together just a little bit. Lengthen the spine. And then if you'd like to come lower and hold that stretch a little bit deeper, you can. Do the same thing on this side that you did on the other side. We're here for 3 or 4 breaths. Take 1 final breath here. And then press yourself back to downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths in your final down dog of the practice. Then walk your feet forward, have a seat, and lie down on your back. From here, you're going to lengthen both legs long. And I want you to hug your right knee into your chest, interlacing all 10 fingers on top of that right kneecap. So all I want you to do is keep the left leg active. So flex that left foot, press your calf into the mat, and really hug the right knee down and in. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Stay here for 2 more breaths, and with each exhale, hug the knee a little bit tighter. Now we're going to gently guide this right knee over to the left side of our body. I'm going to take my right arm out to a T. To make this a little deeper, my right foot is down on the mat. I'm going to take my left knee and just place it over my right calf. So I'm in a little bit of a pretzel here. I'm pressing down with my left hand on top of the right knee. And then I'm going to take my gaze over towards the right. So I'm stretching the outer hip. This is a gentle, gentle twist. If it's too much, you can keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. I just went to the chiropractor this morning and he told me I needed to do this stretch a little bit more each day. Good. Come back through center. Now this time, extend the right leg long, flex the foot, press the calf down, and hug the left knee into your chest. So again, interlace all 10 fingers on top of the left kneecap. And with every exhale, hug that knee in a little bit tighter. Take one more breath in this pose, single knee to chest. And then gently guide your left knee over to the right side. Left arm comes out to a T. And then if you'd like to make this deeper, you take that right knee and just place it on top of the calf. And that just will gently press that left knee down towards the floor a little bit more. I also like to use my hand on top of the thigh to give myself a gentle assist. And your gaze can be up towards the ceiling or your gaze can be over to the left. Pause here for 3 breaths. Good. Come back through center. Grab behind your thighs. Rock yourself up to good. Take both legs long out in front of you. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, sweep the arms up above. Then exhale, reach around. Grab the outsides of your feet. Like I said, you could bend the knees as much as you need to. Reach your chest forward so your heart is shining forward. You have a nice long spine. Your heels are pressing forward and your hips are pulling back. You should feel this in your hamstrings, of course, but you'll also feel the calves and you might also feel the outer hips. Good. Then inhale, reach the fingertips past the toes. Rise back up. Place your hands down. Come back to a seated position, just like we started class. Then inhale, sweep the arms up above. Take your left wrist with your right hand. So I'm just reaching around my left wrist. I'm going to lengthen this arm up. I'm going to stretch up and over one last time to the right side. Spin your heart open towards the ceiling. Come back through center. Take the right wrist with the left hand, stretch up and over to the left, but spin your heart open towards the ceiling. So left rib cage is spinning up and open. Then come back through center, bring your hands through heart center. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, and I hope this practice helped you feel good and feel lengthened. Namaste.